Good morning students, welcome back to Daily Current Affairs Analysis by Civic Center IAS, where we shall discuss important relevant articles from the Hindu, Indian Express and PIB in UPSC CSE Prelims context. These are the topics displayed which we'll be discussing today. Well, let's begin. The first article says that Greece fully supports the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor, in short the IMEC, as a project for peace, said by the Minister of Foreign Affairs George Petros, admitting that the project's planning has been delayed since its launch in September 2023 due to the conflict in West Asia and Israel-Gaza war in particular. Now, in this context, let's talk about the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor, in short the IMEC. Note that this IMEC is a proposed multimodal transportation network connecting India, the Middle East and Europe via the rail, ship-to-rail networks and also the road transport routes. And this IMEC will consist of two key corridors. First, the Eastern Corridor. This will connect India to the Arabian Gulf via a shipping route from Mumbai and Gujarat to the UAE. Second is the Northern Corridor, connecting from the Gulf, and the trade route extends further into the Europe. And also, the rail network will pass through the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan and Haifa in Israel, reaching the Mediterranean Sea. From there, cargo will be transported via a sea route from Haifa to piers in Greece and further into the Europe. Beyond this transportation, the corridor will also include an electricity cable, a hydrogen pipeline and a high-speed data cable. Significantly, at its core, IMEC is designed to enhance multimodal connectivity, improving trade infrastructure between India, the Arabian Peninsula, the Mediterranean region and Europe. Furthermore, it is supported by the Partnership for the Global Infrastructure and Investment, or the PG2, which is a US-led initiative aimed at addressing infrastructure gaps in the developing nations. Additionally, several key players have joined hands to make this project a reality. So the signatories of IMEC include India, the US, Saudi Arabia, UAE, the European Union, Italy, France and Germany. Lastly, let's see the objective it includes. First, to establish a comprehensive transportation network across India, the Middle East and Europe. Second, to enhance trade efficiency by reducing cost and increasing the economic unity. Third, to promote the employment generation and driving the economic growth. Next, to lower the greenhouse emissions and make trade more sustainable. Lastly, to transform the integration of Asia, Europe and Middle East by facilitating seamless connectivity. The next article says that Argentina's president has ordered the country's withdrawal from the WHO Health Organization due to the profound differences with UN agency, a presidential spokesperson said on Wednesday. Well, in this context, let's talk about the WHO, that is the World Health Organization. It was founded on 7th of April 1948, which is also celebrated as World Health Day annually. Significantly, it acts as a directing and coordinating authority on international health within the United Nations system, and its headquarters are located in Geneva, Switzerland. Furthermore, the decision-making body of WHO is the World Health Assembly, where representatives from all member states come together to discuss and implement global health strategies. Next, if we look at the key functions of WHO, first, it provides leadership in global health, coordinating international efforts to tackle health challenges worldwide. Second, it engages in policy making, developing evidence-based guidelines and standards to shape the global health practices. Third, WHO promotes research and knowledge sharing, advancing scientific discoveries to enhance disease prevention and treatment. Fourth, it is responsible for monitoring and data collection, tracking the global health trends and publishing critical statistical data. Lastly, WHO plays a vital role in emergency response, stepping in during public health crises such as pandemics and natural disasters, ensuring timely medical intervention and resource allocation. Now, in the same context, let's talk about the relation between WHO and India. See, India has been an integral part of WHO's journey, having joined as a member state on 12th of January 1948. Strengthening this partnership, the WHO's Southeast Asia Regional Office is headquartered in New Delhi, further enabling close collaboration between WHO and India in tackling major health challenges. Now, over the years, WHO has worked with India on multiple initiatives, particularly in disease control and prevention. One of the key areas of collaboration is tuberculosis control, where WHO supports India's National Tuberculosis Control Program, and also in the fight against the malaria, where the National Strategic Plan for Elimination of Malaria has been implemented with WHO's guidance. Additionally, WHO plays a vital role in India's efforts to control HIV or AIDS, supporting national programs to reduce the infection rates. And also, during the COVID-19 pandemic, WHO partnered with Jammu and Kashmir in the year 2021 to address vaccine hesitancy and conducted special vaccination drives to ensure wider immunization coverage. And also, beyond this disease control, WHO also focuses on maternal and child health, recognizing the importance of reducing maternal and infant mortality. And a key example is its support for the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan, an initiative that ensures free and high quality antenatal care for the pregnant women across the country. Also, WHO work extends beyond the infectious diseases, addressing the growing concerns related to the non-communicable diseases. It actively supports India's efforts to prevent and control major NCDs, that is the non-communicable disease, including diabetes, cancer, and cardiovascular diseases, which have become significant public health challenges. Recognizing India's rich heritage in traditional medicine, WHO has taken steps to ensure its safe and effective use. And also, in a landmark agreement, WHO and India established the WHO Global Center for Traditional Medicine in Jamnagar, Gujarat. Furthermore, with this rapid advancement of technology, WHO is also playing a crucial role in digital health initiatives in India. And a major step in this direction is the National Digital Health Blueprint, which is a framework that leverages digital technologies to enhance healthcare accessibility and also the efficiency. Now, moving to the next article, the US President Donald Trump's proposal that the United States take over the Gaza Strip and permanently resettle its Palestinian residents was swiftly rejected and denounced on Wednesday by American allies and advisories alike. Now, in this context, let's know about the Gaza Strip. Geographically, the Gaza Strip is part of Levant region located along the eastern and Mediterranean shores. It experiences a Mediterranean climate characterized by the hot, semi-arid conditions, and the territory is bordered by the Egypt to the southwest and Israel to the east and north. But one of the crucial aspects of its geography is its separation from the West Bank, meaning the two Palestinian territories are divided by the Israeli territory and do not share a continuous land connection. To fully understand the significance of Gaza, we must look at its historical evolution. After the World War I, the region became part of British controlled League of Nations Mandate of Palestine. And in the year 1947, following the UN partition plan, Gaza came under the Egyptian control. However, this changed dramatically in the year 1967 when, during the Six-Day War, where Israel took control of Gaza, marking the beginning of long-term occupation that would shape the region's future. Years later, the 1994 Oslo Accords marked an important transition as Israel transferred governance of Gaza to the Palestinian Authority. However, political shifts and conflicts led to further instability. And in the year 2006, the militant group Hamas won the Palestinian elections, and by 2007, Hamas had taken full control of the Gaza Strip. And this led to Israel imposing a blockade restricting movement and trade, which remains in place today. But given Gaza's complex history and ongoing conflict, President Trump's recent proposal to take over the territory has drawn widespread criticism. His suggestion of resettling Palestinians elsewhere have been met with outright rejection by both American allies and advisories, highlighting the deep sensitivities surrounding Gaza's political and humanitarian crisis. Well, moving to the next article, it says that Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav on Wednesday released 5 cheetahs, including the female Veera, who had given birth to 2 cubs on Tuesday, into the wild from their enclosures at the Kuno National Park in Shiopur district. Now, well, in this context, let's talk about the Kuno National Park and also discuss about the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary. Firstly, talking about the Kuno National Park, it is nestled in the Shiopur district of Madhya Pradesh. Kuno National Park is located near the Vindhyan Hills. Interestingly, it derives its name from the Kuno River, one of the main tributaries of the Chambal River, which cuts across the sea. Although Kuno was initially established as a wildlife sanctuary, it was only in the year 2018 that its status was upgraded to that of a national park. Further, the park gained global attention when it was selected under the Action Plan for Introduction of Cheetah in India, as the Indian government took steps to reintroduce cheetahs to the country. Remarkably, this habitat in Kuno was deemed parallel to the Masai Mara National Reserve in Kenya, making it a suitable location for cheetahs to thrive. And Kuno is primarily a grassland region, though rocky outcrops are also found throughout the park. The flora here is dominated by the trees like Kardai, Kair and Salai, which form a mixed forest ecosystem. And apart from being home to cheetahs, Kuno hosts a rich variety of fauna. It provides shelter to species such as jungle cat, Indian leopard, sloth bear, Indian wolf, striped hyena, golden jackal, Bengal fox and dhole. Additionally, more than 120 species of birds can be found in the park. See, while Kuno National Park has been the first home for reintroduced cheetahs, Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary has now been identified as a second home for these majestic big cats in India, where it is spread across 368.62 square kilometers, located in the Mandsaur and Neemuch districts of western Madhya Pradesh, right on the border with the Rajasthan, and also it falls under the Katiyar Gir dry deciduous forest ecoregion. Additionally, one of the most striking features of Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary is that the Chambal River bifurcates the sanctuary into 2 nearly equal parts, adding to the diversity of its ecosystem. Like within the sanctuary lies the Gandhi Sagar Dam, which is an important landmark of the region. Interestingly, much like the Kuno, this sanctuary also resembles Masai Mara in Kenya, making it a promising habitat for the newly introduced cheetahs. And also interestingly, this sanctuary has 3 types of vegetation: the northern tropical dry deciduous forest, the northern tropical dry mixed deciduous forest, and dry deciduous scrub. Significantly, the sanctuary has many places of historical, archaeological, and religious importance, such as Chaurasigar, Chatarbhujnath Temple, and Takseshwar Temple, etc. Well, moving to the next article, the nuclear mission announced in the Union Budget 2025-2026 will mark a transformative shift in India's energy landscape and will enable nuclear power to emerge as a major source of energy in India, said by the Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh. Well, in this context, let's talk about the India's nuclear energy mission. See, the nuclear mission announced in Union Budget 2025-2026 aims to transform India's energy landscape by making nuclear power a major energy source, recognized as crucial for the energy security and self-efficiency, aligning with the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So, let's see the key announcement and policy shifts. For the decades, India's nuclear energy sector operated in secrecy, but now, just like the reforms in the space sector, it is being opened up to private sector participation, and this historic shift is expected to boost the growth, drive the innovation, and attract the investments, paving the way for a new era in the nuclear power development. Further, to support this transformation, the government has allocated a substantial 20,000 crore for research and development in small modular reactors, and the target is to have 5 indigenously designed operational SMRs by the year 2033. marking a significant milestone in India's clean energy future. And beyond their short-term goals, India's long-term vision aims for 100 gigawatts nuclear power capacity by the year 2047, ensuring a significant reduction in the carbon emissions. At present, India's nuclear power capacity stands at 8,180 megawatts. However, with this strategic planning and new projects, it is set to increase to 22,480 megawatts by 2031-32. And to achieve this expansion, the government has planned 10 additional nuclear reactors along with the construction of a 6 into 1208 megawatts nuclear power plant at Kovada, Andhra Pradesh in collaboration with the United States. And of the major milestones in India's nuclear journey was achieved on September 19, 2024 when the Rajasthan Atomic Power Project's Unit 7 reached criticality, marking the start of a controlled nuclear fission reaction. Furthermore, India aims to achieve 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel-based energy by the year 2030 in line with its COP26 pledge. And it also supports PM Modi's vision for the net zero emissions by the year 2070. In addition to the advancements in nuclear energy, India is also leading the way in biotechnology through the introduction of Bio-E3 policy, which is the nation's first ever biotech-driven industrial revolution initiative. And this groundbreaking policy focuses on biomanufacturing, biofoundries, and also the circular economy models, ensuring that innovation drives the sustainability. And also, a key component of this policy is the Wealth from the Waste initiative, which encourages the development of recyclable and reusable products, reducing the environmental impact and promoting a self-sustaining bioeconomy. Well, moving to the next article, it says that rupee plunged 36 paisa to close at an all-time low of 87.43 against the US dollar on Wednesday, as the global trade wars concerns fueled risk aversion among the investors. Well, in this context, let's talk about the rupee depreciation. See, basically, the value of a currency in the foreign exchange market is determined by the dynamics of demand and supply. Simply put, a currency depreciates when its demand decreases or its supply increases relative to the other currencies. Conversely, if the demand rises or supply contracts, the currency strengthens. But what influences the supply and demand? Let's take a closer look. Know that several key factors determine the movement of a currency. Supply is primarily influenced by a country's monetary policy. When a government follows a loose monetary policy, it increases the supply of its currency, making it weaker. And on the other hand, a tighter monetary policy reduces the supply, causing the currency to appreciate. Meanwhile, demand for a currency depends on foreign interest in a country's goods and assets. If exports and investments are strong, demand for the rupee rises, strengthening its value. However, if demand for Indian goods and assets is weak, the currency tends to depreciate. And the recent fall of the rupee can be attributed to a combination of short-term global factors and also the long-term economic trends. One of the biggest reasons is the exit of the foreign investors from the emerging markets like India, as many global investors are shifting funds to advanced economies due to changing monetary policies. And at the same time, central banks worldwide are adjusting their policies post-pandemic. However, India's policy stance is seen as less favorable compared to the other countries, making the rupee more vulnerable. Now, if we see the long-term trends affecting the rupee, over the years, India has experienced higher inflation due to Reserve Banks of India's relative loose monetary policy. In contrast, the US has maintained a tighter policy, keeping the dollar stronger. Additionally, India's heavy reliance on crude oil and gold imports increases the demand for dollars, putting downward pressure on the rupee. Moreover, low export growth has failed to generate significant foreign exchange earnings, limiting the rupee's demand in the international market. So, to counter excessive rupee depreciation, the Reserve Bank of India plays an active role in stabilizing the currency. One of its key measures is using foreign exchange reserves to sell dollars in the market, thereby supporting the rupee. However, India's forex reserves have declined significantly. Well, In December 2024, the reserves fell to $640 billion, an 8-month low from $700 billion in September. And without RBI intervention, the rupee's depreciation could have been more worse. But however, a depreciating rupee has a mixed impact on the economy, affecting different sectors in the various ways. On the negative side, import costs rise, making essential goods like crude oil, electronics and industrial raw materials more expensive. And this leads to higher inflation as businesses pass on the increased cost to consumers, affecting everyday expenses. However, depreciation can sometimes benefit the exporters, as a weaker rupee makes Indian goods cheaper in the global markets, enhancing their competitiveness. But due to structural issues, India has not been able to fully capitalize on this advantage. The next article is that on December 18, 2024, the Supreme Court directed the Forest Department of Rajasthan to map on the ground and via satellite every sacred grove in detail. So well, in this context, let's talk about the sacred groves. See, sacred groves are defined as the patches of forest or vegetation that are dedicated to the deities, ancestral spirits or the natural elements. And these forests are deeply ingrained in local traditions and are protected by communities through the social taboos and the cultural beliefs, ensuring that they remain untouched by the modern deforestation or urbanization. And a key feature of these groves is that they are preserved in a natural or near natural state, maintaining their spiritual, cultural and ecological significance. And beyond their spiritual significance, the sacred groves play a crucial role in biodiversity conservation, as they act as refuges for endangered species and serve as vital ecosystems that support both flora and fauna. Further, India is home to over 50,000 sacred groves, each playing a unique role in religious, social and ecological conservation. And these groves are found in various terrains and ecosystems across the country, with each region maintaining its own traditions of protection. And further, some of the notable examples include the Orange of Rajasthan, located in the Thar Desert, serving as oasis of biodiversity. The Mawplunk Sacred Grove in Meghalaya, revered by the Kasi people. The Kovil Kavu groves of Tamil Nadu, closely linked to the temple tradition and deities. And also the Sarnas of Central India, which hold both religious and ecological significance, etc. But see, the tradition of sacred groves dates back to the ancient times. Evidence of their existence can be found in Bhimbetka rock art and also the Harappan civilization. Even in those early societies, certain plants like peepal and shemi trees were revered, symbolizing the deep-rooted connection between the humans and nature. Further, recognizing the importance of community-led conservation, the Wildlife Protection Act 2002 introduced the concept of community reserves. These reserves are a special category of protected areas on community or private land where locals voluntarily participate in habitat conservation efforts, and the management of these reserves is overseen by a community reserve management committee, which includes local representatives and also the officials from the forest and wildlife departments. So the responsibility is to ensure that habitats are preserved, the environment is maintained and wildlife related offences are prevented. And to maintain the integrity of these reserves, any land use changes within the area must be approved by the state government. Additionally, strict regulations are enforced to protect both wildlife and also the ecological balance. Well, moving to the next article. The ISRO delayed an undocking maneuver of the satellites as part of the space docking experiment or SpaDex, which was earlier scheduled to take place soon after the first successful docking on January 16th. Well, in this context, let's discuss about the SpaDex mission. Know that the space docking experiment or SpaDex is a crucial mission by ISRO designed to test and validate the complex process of satellite docking and undocking in space. This experiment involves two satellites known as SDX-01 the chaser and SDX-02 the target. The chaser satellite is programmed to approach, align and dock with target satellite, demonstrating a critical capability for future space station operations, satellite servicing and inter-satellite communication. And on January 16, 2024, ISRO successfully achieved the first ever docking between SDX-01 and SDX-02, marking a historic milestone in India's space technology development. And with this achievement, the two satellites were successfully controlled as a single operational unit, proving ISRO's ability to execute precise docking maneuvers in the orbit. However, the planned undocking maneuver faced unexpected delays. Initially scheduled for a few days after docking, the process was put on hold due to some technical issues with the docking experiments. Also, ISRO's chairman V. Narayanan explained that the undocking process is still under review and the agency is carefully accessing all the parameters before proceeding further. While the timeline for the next step remains uncertain, ISRO remains committed to ensuring precision and safety in the experiment. Also, the success of SpaDex represents a major technological milestone for India's space sector. Docking and undocking in space is a critical capability for various future missions, including operations related to space stations, where docking is necessary for crew and cargo transportation, developing systems for satellite repair, servicing, and refueling, extending the lifespan of costly space assets, enhancing inter-satellite communication, which is crucial for deep space exploration and coordinated satellite networks. Also, SpaDex is not just an isolated experiment. It is a stepping stone towards ISRO's broader space exploration goals. By advancing autonomous satellite systems and space docking capabilities, India is positioning itself as a key player in global space research and technology development. Well, with continued innovation and refinement of docking technology, India's ambition for space stations, interplanetary missions, and advanced space exploration will become a reality in near future. Now, the last article of the day is that India's Space Agency on Sunday reported the partial failure of its NVS-02 navigation satellite due to the non-firing of its engines in the space. This was the latest in series of setbacks suffered by the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, that is the IRNSS, operationally referred to as a Navigation with Indian Constellation, that is NavIC system. Well, in this context, let's see the overview of NavIC. NavIC, or Navigation with Indian Constellation, is India's very own satellite navigation system developed by the Indian Space Research Organization. Now, it is defined to provide highly accurate positioning and timing services across India and surrounding regions. NavIC offers two types of services. First, the standard positioning service, which is available for general and commercial users, and the second is the restricted services, and this is exclusively meant for India's defense forces. Although ISRO initially planned to complete a 7-satellite constellation by the year 2016, technical challenges and delays extended the timeline. As of February 2025, only 5 out of 11 launched satellites are fully operational, highlighting the need for more robust satellite development. And also, NavIC is crucial for India's strategic and economic interest. One of the primary reasons for its development is in national security. Unlike the foreign satellite navigation systems like the GPS, which belongs to USA, and GLONASS, which belongs to Russia, Galileo, which belongs to Europe, and Beodo, which belongs to China, NavIC ensures that India has complete control over its navigation and positioning data. For the military, NavIC's restricted service is an essential for the defense navigation, missile guidance, and target tracking, providing secure and reliable data in critical situations. Additionally, NavIC delivers better than 20-meter accuracy across India and a 1500-kilometer radius, making it a trusted alternative to GPS for both defense and civilian applications. And also, beyond these military applications, NavIC plays an important role in the commercial sector. The system is being integrated into mobile phones, vehicle navigation systems, and also other consumer technologies. In fact, Qualcomm announced in the year 2023 that its chipsets would support NavIC-based navigation, expanding its reach into the global market. Despite its success, NavIC has faced technical challenges, the latest being the failure of NVS-02 due to engine non-firing in space. However, ISRO remains committed to strengthening the system by launching second-generation satellites equipped with both indigenous and foreign atomic clocks. The NVS-01 and NVS-02 satellites were part of this next generation upgrade, while the NVS-02 faced setbacks, ISRO plans to launch more satellites including NVS-03, NVS-04 and NVS-05 to expand and enhance NavIC's reliability. And further, the biggest advantage of NavIC is that it gives India independence from foreign navigation systems, ensuring that critical defense and strategic operations remain unaffected by the international restrictions. And this is particularly important in military conflicts where access to foreign satellite services can be disrupted or denied. NavIC is also India's answer to growing global competition in the satellite navigation. It competes with China's Beidou and Europe's Galileo, offering a cost-effective and reliable alternative for the global users. Well, by interacting NavIC into the international markets, India aims to establish itself as a key player in global navigation technology. Well, this concludes our daily current affairs analysis, and we'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thank you.